Sounds of highway washed around him, the occasional obnoxious Harley-Davidson, a roar chasing an airplane high above. Vague features posing as faces stuck on the heads of all those people, each one coming from somewhere and going somewhere at the same time. Even when their frames seem to live in the present, the act is betrayed by their minds, occupied in the future, occupied with things to come. Yet when they come, the mind will already have moved on, leaving an empty, unguided frame just going through the motions. For these people, all these people, the present, the sights and sounds of the present are simply background to their realities that lie in the future, forever in the future, unobtainable, like a dog chasing a bone suspended before his mouth. Salivating for the future, that is their reality, incongruous between mind and matter. And so the smells and beautiful realities of the present are denied. He began to laugh, not violently, just smilingly so. Sitting there on the sidewalk, feet in the street, he was entirely aware of the gutter water seeping through the holes in his shoes, entirely aware of the modest breeze lapping teasingly at the weeds sprouting from the cracks in the sidewalk, entirely aware of the blood trickling down his sleeve, his totaled bicycle laying at his feet, and the dent in the license plate of the metallic gray BMW that had struck him, entirely aware of the man sitting in the driver's seat, whose reality was suddenly besieged by an assault from the present. The only way he could defend himself was by retreating further into the future, raise the walls. And the man on the sidewalk lay back, the touch of the concrete cool on his skin through his ripped shirt. A bird chirped, somewhere above him, perhaps mistaking the distant ambulance sirens for a cousin returning to nest. His laughter subsided, died back to a smile, and a tear rolled from the corner of his eye, down his cheek and splashed on the concrete. He closed his eyes, completely aware of the world around him, of the beauty saturating even the most morbid of scenes. Such awareness was thrust upon him by the realization that the future was nothing to him. He was going to die on this sidewalk. With no future to hide in, his mind had been ripped from its fortress, and with nowhere to turn, it had stared the present straight in the eyes. 35 years of life, and he had lived for 2 minutes of it. And so he had smiled and laughed, for how else could he bear the truth of his vague existence? It is too late now. Struggle though he may, he cannot lift the iron gates that are his eyelids, and though he strains, he cannot distinguish the bird's chirp from the distant voices descending upon him, and he cannot feel the water on the soles of his feet, and in horror he tries to warn them, but he cannot bring his mouth to open, and he dies here, entirely aware that one must die in the present.